Hello everyone and welcome to our this new video. In this video we will discuss about how to write a test case, how to design a test case. Okay, my last video was on about the bug reporting. I hope you guys liked it. And in this, as I said, we will discuss about the test case. Now, in software testing, why test case is important or why do we need test case? So first of all, test case give you a structured approach for to test any functionality, any software, any of your web application, mobile application, whatever it is. So it gives a structured approach. Okay, otherwise sometimes what will happen, you will uh, go and do random things, and you may not find a bug, but that will not be as much as useful. But when you have a structured approach, okay, so and also the test case can act as a document, kind of a document which can be used later, okay, by any of your team members, or if sometimes you also need to review your review the functionality, what was it about, how did you test it. So test case helps in that thing. Now well, or in this video we will talk about what are the best practices to write test case, what are different kind of test cases we can write or we can create, okay, and what are the latest trends going on in software testing related to test cases and bug reporting, like we discussed in our previous video. So let's move forward. Now, how to write an effective test case? So first thing, the test case should be clear. Okay. What do I mean by clarity? Clarity and precision means it should not be ambiguous, like a vague kind of thing. Like, for example, I'll give you that if you write test login feature. Now, if you write this, it doesn't mean anything. Test login feature. What do you test in login feature? So it should be written like, for example, your scenario could be that you are testing login feature. This could be your scenario, but it cannot be your test case. So what do you write a test case like? Provide username. Now, then could be there could be a column where you write a test data. So test data could be um, ABC user. Then next step would be provide password. Password could be anything, right? Password. Second step would be provide invalid password. So you see, this is a clear thing that you are providing an invalid password. So that's how your test kit should be. It should not be like a vague thing, like I said, test login functionality. It gives an overview. Okay, you are testing login functionality, but it cannot be a test case. So test case should be detailed, okay, and it should be reusable. Obviously, I mean it is a critical one of the important factor that your test case should be reusable. It should not be like you created you created it and then it cannot be reused again, right? When this will happen, when you write a improper test case, or like I said, when you write an vague kind of details in that. Okay, so it should be detailed, it should be reusable. How can we make it reusable? By providing more details, okay, like by covering all the requirements also. So like providing all the details means what are you testing? You're testing login functionality, okay, so you provide that. You are testing username, then you're providing password, then you're providing an you are testing by an invalid password. You are testing by what will happen when you provide an invalid username. Okay, so you write the results also, that this is what is happening. It gives you a proper error message or no error message, what is happening. So you write all these details, Okay, so that's how you should write your test case, and it should be reusable. Like if after some times, if someone wants to test this functionality again, or and wants to know, okay, what happened, what was all this about, so they can go and they can check step by step. Okay, this is what was happening earlier. When you provide something, when you provide an invalid argument, when you provide something else. So that's it. So, what are the common mistakes we make in writing a test case? This ambiguous step, like I said, ambiguous. It should not be ambiguous. It should not be a way kind of thing like testing this feature. No, detail. What are you testing? Okay. Lack of edge cases coverage. This could be a bit tricky because edge cases. It's all depends on how you think. Okay. Again, I in my very first video, I told about. Some features that a tester should possess, or they call skills like critical thinking. So this all comes when you think of your application, and you should think about it before writing a test case. You should go deep in your application, you should read all your requirements. Okay, and then you could cover up all this kind of things. Okay, so edge cases means there are certain cases which are not normal that you will encounter. For example, like when you add a product in your cart, and if you refresh the page or if you reload the page, your quantity is maybe increasing or could be decreasing. So that could be a kind of edge case. Well, it's not an edge case, but just giving you an example. Okay, what will a normal test case is? You add a product in cart, yes, product added. You update quantity, yes, it is updating. You click on checkout, yes, it is going to checkout page. This is normal. But what could be an extra case coverage here will be, he add a product, reload the page. So what happens when you reload the page? The page should remain same. Okay, quantity should not be updated, or should not be decreased. Whatever the data, whatever the items you added in cart, those should be remain there. Okay, uh, another kind of edge case could be here is this. Let's say you added some product in your cart. Okay, and at the same time some other product also, other user also added the product, and he or she buys that product. So now in your cart, that product should be, that quantity should not be available. Okay, so you test those kind of scenarios also, do these kind of edge cases. Okay, and obviously your test data should not be outdated, means you should update it on regular basis. If any new change happened, you should update your test case. Okay, let's move forward, and now we will just see what could be different type of test cases we could write. So first is functional test case. Now functional test case, as the name suggests, it's more or less about functionality. Whatever the functionality you are going to test, those functional test case you write. Okay, like in the previous line, just few minutes back, like we discussed about login feature. So that is your functionality test. How do you test login? Right, you write like provide username. Okay, username, provide password, click submit button. Okay, invalid credentials. Invalid credentials means either your username is invalid or either your password would be invalid. Okay, uh, you provide some. Uh, so this is your functional test, or you can test write about sessions also, how your application is maintaining sessions and all other things. So those all things you can cover in your functional test case. Now regression test case means, as the name suggests, regression. What do you mean by regression is, like any new changes is not affecting your previously working changes. Okay, so you could write a regression test case also. The regression test case, again, you will mention all these steps that has been written before, and then you can write uh, for the new functionality also. Exploratory test case, like I said, that your test case should be structured. Okay, but in case of exploratory testing or in case of exploratory test case, uh, you you know, I mean, it was not pre. I mean, you have not thought it before. Okay, so you are exploring your functionality, and then you are writing your cases. Key, this is what I done. Like visit the page. Second, I reload the page, and when you reload the page, something happened. Then you write it key after reloading the page. Got some invalid argument. Okay, so that's how you write it. So that's what about exploit testing. It is not structured, or it is not. You have not thought it before that this will be my steps or not, but you are exploring your functionality, you are exploring your application, and while you are exploring it, you are documenting your steps or whatever your observations are. You are going to write all those things. Now, what are the tools that you can use for writing a test case? So there are multiple tools available, like Jira, one of the widely used tool available or used by many of the organizations and peoples. Then test rails, okay, Cypher, QA test. So all these are tools online available online. Okay, these are not limited to this. There are multiple tools available, like uh, ClickUp is one of is another tool people use. Okay, so and it's not necessary that you use all these tools. You can simply use you can write your test case in Excel, right? So you can simply write your test in Excel also. But again, when you write in Excel, that should be maintained, okay, because those Excel should is will be on your particular system, which ideally it is not an ideal thing. Whenever you write a test case, it should be at a central repository where everybody can access it. If some developers want to check key what are the test cases we have written, what was happening earlier with that particular functionality, do we have a test case, so that should be accessible to all. Okay, so that's it. But yeah, you can use Excel, one of the mostly commonly used thing, and easy to use. Okay, but whenever you write test case in Excel, it should contain following things like test case ID, okay, steps, scenario. Okay, before steps, you should write scenario. What scenario you are going to test? Okay, steps, scenario, then your expected output. Okay, and actual output. Okay, these are the basic. You should also mention in your Excel like what parameters you have used. Okay, while writing this test case or while testing your thing, parameters used. What kind of environment you are working on? Is it a test environment? Is it a prod environment? All those things. So it should be detailed as much as possible. So you can mention all this in your Excel also. No worries. Now, so these are all the conventional things that have been used, and nowadays there is more buzz about AI. So yes, if you talk about in latest trends or in upcoming things, you can use or you can leverage AI in your AI in your testing by writing the test cases, and there are multiple AI tools available through which you can generate test case. But I will say that you should be careful when you are generating test case from AI tools. Okay, Mm, maybe because why? Because you should validate whatever the AI tool has generated is as per your requirement or not. Okay, so be very careful with that. Sometimes it could be possible that what the AI tool has, whatever the AI tool has generated may not be in your context. Okay, it maybe it had provided a generic kind of case. So be very cautious when you use AI tools. Okay? But yes, you can leverage AI tools. They are multiple tools available, and if it helps, yes, you can use. Okay, so what is the benefit? That first of thing, like it makes your work easy. Okay, simple, simple thing. So, or maybe you could write a test case, and then you can uh, provide the prompt to AI and make it more better. Okay, like you can increase its effectiveness. Okay, so that's how you should use, but be careful that you should not provide any confidential information to the AI chatbots or AI tool. Okay, so be very careful with that, and be very careful when while validating the output. Okay, so you can use AI tools, no issues, but careful with that. That's what I would like to say. Okay, so that's it, guys. This is more or less about the testing test case. Okay, there is nothing much to talk about on testing test case, because it's all comes to your uh, thinking, like how you think, how deeply, how deep you can dive into your application, how much knowledge you have about your application, so that then only you will be able to write a good test case, and you could provide a good test coverage uh, for your application. So be very mindful about that while writing the test case. Okay, so that's it. And in this whole video, like we discussed about how do you write test case. Okay, what you should not do, what you should do. Okay, what are different types of test cases, like functional regression, exploratory testing. Okay, what kind of tools you could use, like we said, Jira. Even you can use Excel also. Okay, so that's the major key takeaway from this test case, from this slide or video. Okay, so that's it. And thank you guys for your time and your attention. I will see you in next video. Hope you like this one. And as I said, I will see you in your next video. Thank you.